Hello, and welcome to another edition of CBU Conversations. I am Jack Shannon, president of Christian Brothers University, and I'm honored to be with you today. Joining us today will be two members of our LaSallian community. My colleague, Raquel Logan Salisbury, our director of admissions, and alumnus, Calvin Gill, of the class of 2020. Welcome, Calvin and Raquel.
Thank you.
Thank you, President.
Glad you could both join us today. So let me start with, if I could, Raquel. As Director of Admissions here at CBU, one of your primary responsibilities is to convince prospective students and their families about the value of LaSallian education. Many of those prospective students, and indeed many of our current students and alumni, are the very first in their families to attend college. As a first-generation college graduate yourself, Raquel, would you share with us some of the valuable insights and guidance that you offer to those prospective students and their families?
Sure. Thanks, President Shannon. It's an honor to be with you all today. I would say to the students and their families, it's okay not to have all the answers right now. You're new to this experience. Many of us at CBU, we definitely will have empathy with you regarding your experience here. And when you step on campus here from the onset of a campus tour, the admissions team, we're here to support you, even if you don't understand which major you want at the time. We have some of the most amazing faculty members here who are willing to speak with you regarding the different programs that we offer here. And the LaSallian Way is one of faith, service, and community. And with that, you have all of us working to help you as you navigate these uncharted territories, if you will. So we care about you at CBU, we're family, and we're gonna be there with you from day one until graduation. And welcome to our CBU family.
Thanks, Raquel. Calvin, turning to you, for almost everyone, we know that the choice of what university to attend is not an easy one to make. For first generation students, though, it oftentimes is even more difficult since there isn't a family member who previously has gone through that process. As a proud first generation graduate of CBU, would you mind sharing with us how you decided that CBU was the right place for you, and who helped you in making that decision to come here to Central and Parkway?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. It's a pleasure being here to be able to speak with everyone and just, man, come back and support CBU and have the support of CBU once again. And through my process of going to CBU, I actually had my first interaction with CBU at a college fair at my high school, which was Manassas High School in Memphis, Tennessee. And the admissions at CBU, they accepted me and a few of my fellow classmates on the spot. And I didn't think too much of it after that. But CBU made sure that they did a great job of following up. And what Ms. Raquel talks about with CBU being a culture of love and empathy and support, I felt all of that through my process of going through CBU. I got the phone calls I need. They set me up for orientation. And it was just so much love that I felt from CBU. And it actually was my financial treasurer at my church that helped me make the decision. Of course, I went through my parents. You know, they were very supportive of me of whichever decision I wanted to make. And that was fulfilling to know that. But they were there when I talked with my financial treasurer, and he helped me make the decision to come to CBU because he showed me, hey, like, they're providing you room and board. They're providing you most of your expenses paid. And also you'll have a better interaction with the staff and the students there because of the student and class size. And you know how you can just go and be able to interact with the faculty every day. And that's something I really have felt throughout my entire 4 years at CBU, just the love of the faculty and staff. And even though some of the other students, like, everybody is really supportive at CBU. And I just love the culture. So thankful for that.
That's great. And I'm glad to hear that you had a great experience in it mirrors the experience that I've heard from a number of our alumni that they've had here at CBU as well. Raquel, since our founding as a university, or back then a college in 1871, CBU has taken great pride in providing the opportunity of a college education to first-generation students, even if that term wasn't used back then. Would you mind sharing with us some of the programs, activities, and other resources that CBU offers to our first-generation students?
Sure. And Calvin, I'm so excited to hear your experience with our faculty members. One of the great things about CBU is that we have this small classroom ratio where it's 11:1 in the classroom, and your faculty member will know your name and you can call out to them for any of your needs that you may have academically. Sometimes it's other questions you may have for them regarding the different organizations we have. We have over 40 clubs and organizations, or even over 70 majors and minors here, from the liberal arts to engineering to pre-health degree programs here. So we're, again, here to help navigate for these students. We have our dorms, which that's a nice amenity to have, or resource to have, if you will, for our students who, even if they're local, they may want to live in our dorms. And so we offer that to our students here at CBU. And one thing I really love about CBU is how inclusive we are, right? We want to ensure that, you know, people who are ready to commit academically to the rigor of our CBU program, there we include people from many walks of life, and that's just a great feature of CBU. And most recently, CBU was ranked number 25. Well, U.S. News and Work Report ranked CBU 25 top 25 best Southern universities of 2020, and we're really proud of that also.
Thanks, Raquel. I really want to note and thank you for mentioning the fact that we are a very inclusive community. I think that's one of the great things about CBU, that we are incredibly diverse as well. With that diversity, you can find a place here at CBU where you'll feel included, and perhaps even more importantly, supported by the larger Lasallian community that we have here. It's not just your faculty and staff, it's your fellow students, it's everyone is part of making sure that our students, first generation or otherwise, are supported along the way in their journey to getting a university degree. So I'm going to hold the last question for you, Calvin, in honor of the fact that you're an alumnus of CBU. During your time here at CBU, you were very involved in our September service program, along with many other activities. In fact, it was through that program that you and I had the opportunity to first meet, and I'm very happy that we did. Today, you are serving as a Lasallian volunteer in Albany, New York. Would you tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing in Albany and how your experiences here at CBU led you to becoming a Lasallian volunteer after graduating last spring?
Yes, sir, most definitely. And it definitely was a pleasure to be able to meet you through SOS and have that opportunity, because SOS was extremely important for me in my undergraduate experience at CBU. And just being able to provide that service and community to Memphis, it not just wasn't, hey, like, we're going to go out and do as much community service for, you know, the city, but it also was a lot of bonding within CBU for that as well, amongst the staff and faculty and students at CBU. And I remember it was one time we volunteered at Memphis Athletic Ministries. We were really involved with the youth and everything, and just like helping them facilitate the activities and such through SOS. And it was then that I really noticed that I had a passion to want to be able to work with youth and just kind of continue that legacy. I wanted to do it immediately. And fast forwarding to my senior year, I had a practicum that was a part of my psychological practicum. I was an intern at GILL, Juvenile Intervention and Faith-Based Follow-Up. And I was working with a lot of the young men that are very similar to the young men that I work with now in the juvenile justice system. And I really had a loving for that too. And then COVID and everything happened. So Dr. Burke, who actually was the facilitator of SOS, she told me about the LaSallian Volunteers Program and how I could be placed into another part of the U.S. and provide the same service, provide the same, love and care that I wanted to provide. So I applied for it as soon as possible. And I was blessed enough to get the opportunity to serve here in Albany. And just coming here and being a part of the community, and like just the boys and seeing them every day, it really is fulfilling. So basically, I'm a teacher assistant during the school day. So from the school day at 7 to around 12 in the afternoon, I help the teachers in the classrooms, help them facilitate the classroom procedures and everything, and just being able to have that type of interaction with the boys. And in the evenings every day from 2 to around 8:30, I am the recreational coordinator. So I work basketball and football, kickball, just all type of recreational activities for the young men here to keep them active. And I also do other development, take them off campus. We do bowling trips, had opportunities to take them to a few amusement parks that we've had the opportunity to rent out where it was only us because of, COVID and everything. But it's just awesome to be able to have this opportunity to be able to interact with the boys every day and see them. And when they see me, they smile and they're happy. When I see them, I'm happy. So just love the opportunity.
Well, I'm smiling and happy as well because you are the personification of what it means to be LaSallian, and we take great pride at Calvin in having you among our alumni. You're giving back, you're paying it forward, and that means so much to all of us here at CBU. So thank you for sharing your gifts with the community up there in Albany. Hopefully, once you've done your volunteership opportunity there, you'll come back home to Memphis and continue that great work for the benefit of this community, as you did through our September service program.
Yes,
this
sir.
brings to a conclusion this edition of CBU Conversations. We have been joined by Dr. Raquel Salisbury, who is our Director of Admissions, and Mr. Calvin Gill, a recent alumnus, class of 2020 here at CBU. Raquel and Calvin, I want to thank you again for joining us and appreciate you providing information, not just about first-generation student opportunities and programs here at CBU, but also our general admissions program, as well as the LaSallian Volunteer Program. Thank you again, Calvin, and thank you, Raquel.
You're welcome. Thank you, President Shannon.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
Appreciate it. So I encourage you to please tune in to the next edition of CBU Conversations, which we put out every Tuesday for viewing. In the meantime, I encourage you to please continue to stay safe, be well, mask up, take care of yourselves and your families, your friends and neighbors, and that true LaSallian spirit. Right now, we're facing some tough times with the pandemic, but we're all in this together as a community. And as LaSallians, we know we look out for each other. So stay safe, be well, and look forward to seeing you in the next edition of CBU Conversations.